Hi everybody, and welcome back to our Google Classroom course. This is a very exciting lesson where we're going to cover all the different built-in features that help support both formative and summative assessment in our Google Classroom. And this summer we know that Google Classroom got a massive upgrade, and the assessment was included as part of that, so that the viewing and marking process is a lot easier. So I'm going to take you through how we can use class comments, private comments, the new assessment window for marking individual student work, and how to download grades into one convenient, easy file. Just makes marking a snap, so that when it comes to that report card time or creating student portfolios, we have everything we need right at our fingertips. So we're going to get started by going inside of our new Google Classroom. In this particular view, you'll want to have a couple of students. You won't see what I'm looking at as far as the student view goes, but let's take a peek at how we can be in the driver's seat and have all of our student work right at our fingertips without having to wait for something to be handed in at the end. So here in my classroom, I can see that I have my Classwork tab, and I can see all of the different individual assignments that I have for each of the particular students. At any time, I could go inside one of these assignments and I could be able to look at what I want the students to do. So here we were exploring some place value and students were creating a Google drawing. When I go ahead and I click on the assignment, I'm in the student work view. I can see the work of all of my students currently working on this assignment. I can see my demo student and Dane have both opened up and began working on their Google drawings. I can see that John hasn't even opened it up or started it yet because he doesn't have any attachment here. It means he hasn't even opened the assignment that I've given him. In the student work view, I can also be able to offer grades right here to each of the students. And this is also where I can return any work if it was handed in. Please note that these assignments were not turned into me. They were simply assigned to them, which means I have access to them without having to wait to the end. When a student does hit turn in, what happens is it locks them out of editing of their particular assignment until you have completed your assessment and have then marked it as returned. It gives them the ownership back and they can once again edit their assignment. So that it is really nice if you do have perhaps an essay is due, you want kids to finish it within a specific time period, they have to turn that in and then they can no longer edit it anymore until you've returned it. So it is a convenient feature. Now back to the classroom. At any point I can also go into a particular student's work, and this is now the brand new marking window, which I completely love. A couple of the features I love about the new marking window is I can see the student work handy in front of me. I can also see the name of the student who it belongs to at the top. I also see the title of the assignment. I can come over and I can add a grade for the student. I can also add private comments right here for the student. So I can add that private comment. Now the great thing about private comments is it is individual to that particular student. The entire class does not see it. Now I would like to show you how there's also a brand new feature called a comment bank. This is really handy because if you do have some of those commonly used comments and remarks you need to make for students, this is a great place to keep it. When you go into the comment bank, you're going to see it says you can add to the comment bank. And it's going to give you a little window where you can put in your different comments. Now, for myself, I did create a bit of a comment bank in my Google Keep. So I'll search here for some grammar work that I did. And here is all of the different grammar pieces I was giving to students. I could fill up that comment bank just by copying my work here. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to add to my comment bank. And I'll say add. This comment bank actually will follow me around from assignment to assignment and classroom to classroom so that I don't have to try to recreate this every time. Now what I can do is I can also copy a piece of comment to the clipboard, I can edit and I can delete. But what's great is if I wanted to come back here now to this comment bank, if I was marking along and I wanted to go to that comment bank, I could just click this comment and I could basically add it for that student so that it's right there. So I'm going to simply pick the one that I want them to do. I'm going to copy it to the clipboard, and what's fantastic is now I can put it right here in my private comment. So quick and easy that I'm able to do this. Now one of the things I really love is that I can also return it to the student right here. And I'll show you the student view of what they'll see. And then right here up at the top, so I don't have to go back window surfing trying to figure out where I am at the next student, I can click to the next student and their work in this assignment. So it really streamlines me being able to go through each piece of students' work for that assignment, to be able to go through, to grade it, to provide my comments, and all of those different pieces. It is fantastic. And this works for regardless what the students are working on. It could be a Google Docs, slides, drawings, sheets, anything. You just open up their work and you get that beautiful view. So let's take a look at what that looks like from the student perspective. So for the students, when they're inside the Google Classroom, they can see here their Classwork tab, and they would be able to go down and they would be able to see that particular assignment. They could go search for it. They can come and look at it, how they did and what their grade was for that particular thing. The other way for them to find it quite quickly is there's a View Your Work tab at the top. This is what students will see. And when they go into that, they're going to notice this is a quick and easy place for them to be able to look at all of their assignments without searching the stream or the Classwork tab. They can see everything in one place. They can also go ahead and see what's upcoming by filtering it by what's assigned. They can see if they're missing any work, and they can also check their work that's been returned with a grade. So we can see that there's the Exploring Place Value assignment that I recently just returned. They can see their work. They can see my private comments. They can also click into it to view the details, and this is where they can also add their own private comments. We can go back and forth and continue to have the conversation about this particular assignment. The student can continue to have that private conversation, or there's also the opportunity to add a class comment. This is a way to be able to have a conversation, but it's the entire class. So this is great for asking clarification to the assignment or just being able to make that general comment. So students are able to add those class comments if you have the setting in your class settings that students can post and comment. Now back to the teacher view. So you'll notice in the teacher view, again, now I only see student work because what's happened is it tells me how many have been assigned and how many have been graded. It keeps track of each different assignment for me. I can also see on the left-hand side that I've got my students who are still outstanding, it's been assigned, but then I can see who's been graded. You'll also see if there's been a private comment added. Just underneath the name of each student, you'll see that dialog box right there. To see the class comments, I'm simply going to click on the instructions, and that's where I see the overall assignment with instructions as well as those public class comments. Now, one really great feature that many people don't know exists in the Google Classroom is being able to view student work in one handy, easy place. For students, it was under the Classwork tab. For teachers, it's actually the People tab. And if I wanted to, I would be able to look at any particular student's work just by clicking on their name, and it will pull up that same work view so that I can look at this student and I can see every one of their assignments from this particular Google Classroom. I can search by which ones they've turned in. I can search by the ones that have been returned with a grade, and I can also search by what's been missing. It's a really fantastic way just to be able to have students view one pane of their work without having for me to search through those assignments. At report card time, I just want to know what Trish has outstanding and be able to work on her things. So this is great to be able to narrow that down. Now there's one more feature I want to show you, and that's how do we download all of the grades from this classroom into one handy spreadsheet so that I can then use that when I'm sitting down with my PowerSchool. So in this particular case, I'm back to that place value assignment that I had previously marked. I'm going to say View Assignment. Whenever you're in your assignment view that we've already explored, you're going to note that there's a little gear in the top right-hand corner. When you click that gear, a couple of the things you can do is you can download the grades as a CSV file, but you can also copy all grades to Google Sheets. What this will do is it will open you up a brand new spreadsheet organized by your students and assignment and what grades you've given them. So I can see here that there's a list of all of the assignments that are dated across the top, including those that I've given a point value to. I can then see all of the students down the left-hand side, and these panes are conveniently frozen so that I can scroll without having to be a sheet geek and set anything up. It will continue to grow. What's fantastic is this will now be able to continue to be filled up as I'm grading and marking. So this makes teachers have a giant time saver just having this one nice convenient place. It is important to point out though that our Google Classroom is not connected with our gradebook or PowerSchool. So any marks you do put here are not automatically transferred over. You still need to do that yourself. So give it a try. See if you can put in some comments, some private comments. Try playing around with that comment bank, being able to return work to students. And the bottom of this particular session, I've also put a couple geeky extras for you. Alice Keeler has a couple of awesome extensions where we can screen record our feedback to students. It copies a link to that recording on our Google Drive, and we can insert that for our private comments. It's a really fun way to be able to have some interactive feedback with students, but also save you a whole lot of time. So give that a try. Good luck, and if you have any questions, just let me know.